Whenever we have a patch in Rise of Kingdoms, there's always a few surprises, and the big surprise today is that the PC version got a control overhaul, making it much easier to control individual marches and even put them into groups and then use commands with those specific formations. So there's really no other way to describe it than the PC version being the absolutely superior way to play the game, assuming that it is a lag-free experience. So stick around in this video for a quick review of what you need to know about the PC version and everything that just landed in today's patch. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and you all know that I typically play on my iPad because it is such a smooth experience for playing the game, and I can count on it to work. The number of times I've actually crashed in combat when I'm playing on my iPad is either 0 or 1. I think 1, and I didn't have any troops die because of it. Whereas when I hear people playing on the PC version, that is not necessarily the case. But now the controls are so strong in the PC version that there's a compelling argument to just throw away your iPad, not literally, and to learn how to play on the PC. And let me just very quickly go over some of these controls and then show it to you. Okay, so some of this stuff you might expect. I can, of course, zoom in, zoom out. I can look around. I can, issue commands using the right click. And I can also do some selecting. Now, there are two different modes for how you actually have your keys work by default. But what I really want to show you is over here, where Control-Shift-A selects all my troops. Control-A will select all the troops on my screen. So I have a way to differentiate these things. I have a way to select my individual troops, and I can change this key if I don't, like the F1, which I don't particularly like F1 through F7. But most importantly, I can make these formations, and I'll show you how to make a formation. Control-1 sets a formation, and then Shift-1 will add a troop or march to that formation. And importantly, you can then select those formations very easily, and you can return your troops to your city or have your troops stand still. R is a really important command. Often you got to jump through some hoops to get your troops to march home. And I'll just show you this really quickly because it's absolutely insane. Honestly, these commands remind me a lot of when I played StarCraft and Warcraft and Total Annihilation, for those of you that are really old, right? So I can now select different marches and put them into a group. And I need to maybe toggle off that scroll at the edge of the screen. That is so annoying. I don't like that. In fact, let me shut that off right now. Yeah, this has to be the first thing you turn off if you're going to play on PC. Allow screen edge movement? Hell no, that's just so annoying. Okay, gone. And that's why they have this setting for that. Great, easy. From here, I can go and make a formation. I smash Control-1, and these are all now in Formation 1. If I wanted, for some reason, these two marches to be in a different formation, I would go and I would select them. I'm holding Alt, and then boom, and then I hit Control-2, and I've now put them into Group 2. That means they leave Group 1, so you can't be in multiple formations at a time. But now I can select between these two groups very easily, and I can right-click to go where I want to go. So I can have a group that goes behind the flag and in front of the flag, or really, ideally, you'd bring one march in front of the flag and all the others around it. So if I wanted to very quickly position 4 marches around the flag, I want to show you how quickly I can do this. Now, one thing I do struggle with is the range with which I am auto-selecting onto the flag. That is a huge range, and that really isn't allowing me to go exactly where I want to go, because if I were to select now, you can see it's going to the flag. That's not what I want to do. Anyways, let's try to give this a shot and show you positioning around a flag such that I'm about to swarm it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, barbs in the way. 4. So I now can put my marches into position, and normally, I mean, you can do this manually, but you can go so fast. And the only thing slowing me down is still that proximity to flag. I'm clearly not selecting the flag here. I'm a ways away from wanting to do anything with that flag yet, and it's selecting it, which is a little bit of a bummer. So I don't know if there's a way for me to maybe reduce that radius. I'll have to look into the settings more. But if I were to swarm this flag, right, like I can get into position really nicely for being able to do that. And you can move your marches really, really quickly. As you can see there, I mean, I just click through all my marches, got into the formation. I mean, it's not a formation, but This is going to be the way that you play the game moving forward. Hands down. I mean, this is so superior. And for those that didn't know, whenever you target onto territory, you get a territory march speed bonus. So even if you're fighting all the way over here, something that you typically might do in order to go kind of faster is if you wanted to retreat from a position where you're fighting in the middle of nowhere, you target your own territory, okay? And the key to these new hotkeys is that if I'm fighting all the way out here, and you can just assume my marches have got there already, I just hit R, and boom, that march turns around. And it's like it's going back to my city, which is on territory, by the way. And obviously in KVK, you have to be on territory if you're going to port in. I guess you could random port, but this is really nice because instead of having to, like, scroll over to where your territory is or do, like, you just hit R, and you're going back to your city. Like, it's so easy. Like, there's nothing to it, man. So if this were enemy territory, right, and I'm fighting on enemy territory, I'm, like, fighting around this flag. Again, I'm controlling each of my marches and where I want them to go. And then they target this march, boom, it's going back to my city at max speed. You just can't replicate that right now on an iPad. And, in fact, let me switch to my iPad and show you what I would have to do and how much slower it is. So here we are playing on my iPad, and the problem is already very obvious that not all my marches are even visible to me to select, which on the PC version, I could see them all. I don't know why that's not the case on iPad. This is like, feels like a huge improvement to be able to see all your marches, because it's extra clicks and taps to have to, in this case, I guess taps, to scroll to wherever my march is, assuming I find the right one, tap it, wait for it to register that I have the option to go home, and then tap the button to go home. Hope I tap the right thing in the middle of all the lag and all the marches and all the craziness to get my march to go where I want it to go. This may not sound like a big deal, but it's a matter of seconds, and seconds when you're battling in the open field are everything. I don't think people always appreciate how every second is critically important for getting your marches into the right position. This is a game where the position of your marches relative to your enemy is really, really crucial. And I'm not going to compare it too much like, you know, League of Legends, because this is like a huge stretch to go from here to there. But what I'm trying to say is that the difference between a player who understands relative positioning and one who does not is night and day. And players who appreciate the value of where their marches are located will really appreciate the opportunity to play on PC and save a couple seconds for the commands they're trying to issue. It's a no-brainer for how insanely powerful it is. And I mean, like, I'm going to have to switch to PC and hope that it's a smooth experience, because if it is, it's just going to be better once you get a hang of those controls. Switching topics entirely, a couple really important things also happened this morning, and some of them were drama-related. One is that the game was going to hide your resources gathered and sent, and also your number of dead troops. I can't fathom a reason why that would make sense to do, but the way that the developers stated it was that the information was being used in a way that was, I guess, somehow compromising or putting people at risk and could negatively impact the gaming experience. Let me tell you, I am glad that they reverted this change. And by default, now you can see everybody's dead troops again, and you can see their resources gathered, and you can see their resource assistance. I don't know if they were trying to protect people from being picked on for being farmers or non-contributors in KVKs, but let me tell you what, nothing made it more of a witch hunt than hiding people's stats, because if you hide your stats, you're the witch. Everybody's gonna go freaking hunt you, because what do you have to hide, bro? So in competitive kingdoms, yeah, everybody's just going to hunt you down, and I don't want to get into all the drama again because they fixed the issue really fast. They hit a bunch of stats, and then they re-revealed them. And there's a number of reasons why you should really never hide a pride marker from your whales, especially like dead troops. This really should never disappear. You should even take the dead troops, remove it from here, and put it over here. Forget the power number, put the dead troop number up here. Right next to the kill points, on top of the kill points, right? Like, I'm just telling you, the things that cause people to feel pride in this game, you should never hide them under any circumstance. That's just my opinion. They fixed it. Thank goodness. But they also added achievements, and I revealed all these achievements ahead of where you could get them pretty much anywhere else. I translated them from official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channels, and specifically got a lot of them from a Russian official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel. So you already knew what all these were before the patch arrived because you're subscribed to the channel. So you saw that video. If you aren't subscribed, though, consider subscribing, because not only am I going to show you all the crystal tech later tonight, but you don't want to miss out when I show you things in advance of where you can find them almost anywhere else, or when I translate things from other languages to get you the information early. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I got 1,600 videos dedicated to making you a better governor. All that to say, you knew that there were going to be 12 achievements giving you iconic crystals, and you knew that they were going to be related to how many legendaries you forged and how many special talents you have on your legendary equipment. But weirdly enough, my restart account has talented legendaries and has credit for 0 talented legendaries. So I'm going to message my support contact and let you know what they say. But my main account got 9 iconic crystals, which is actually kind of insane. This is now going to be the best infantry set in the game. I'm going to switch to it. We're going to apply the 2 iconic crystals. Easy 40 mil gold. Thanks, Cortex, for the resources. There is, boom, the iconic on my legs, and then the iconic on the set boots. That is 2 iconic crystals deployed. The full set completed. You really can't do any better than this. You could debate the accessories for some circumstances, but for like a pass, this is it, man. This is the best of the best. The full crit, iconic infantry set. Whew, man. Good luck swinging into that. With the remaining iconic crystals, I personally am going to wait. Really pains me to have to do that, but I'm going to wait and see what new leadership commanders they reveal. We should be getting new leadership commanders soon. I would really hate to go invest in my cavalry equipment, for example, and then they release some new commander that's like god tier with archers for whatever reason. It's a leadership commander that works with archers. I mean, they could do that, right? They could somehow flip it around and it's like the new god tier Amanitore pairing. Who knows, man? I'm just going to wait. I'm not entering KVK yet, and I've made detailed videos about this investment philosophy, timing your investments extremely wisely. Card will be up in the top that talks way in depth on that strategy. One quick little tip, if you did get any of the legendary city themes over the last year or so, make sure that you actually go and re-equip one of those themes if you're not actively using them. You do get some achievements over here for equipping city themes, but you do not get those achievements until you actually equip the city theme. Most of these I don't even have, so... and in fact, most people probably won't have them, so let's jump to the next topic. There are a few new cosmetics, including this whale leaping for joy, which is how every big spender in the game felt getting all their iconic crystals in the mail, while free-to-play players were crying. Oh, God. I won't get into that drama. Perhaps that's a bad idea. But I do think it is funny that in the patch where they basically made a bunch of achievements for whales, that they then also released an avatar frame with a whale leaping for joy over your head, because it's so happy with all the new iconic crystals. Joking aside, there are new avatar frames here. Ark of Osiris League Season 6 is right around the corner. The dates for that were officially available in-game. This is from purchasing a bundle. I mean, it couldn't be any more perfect the way that you unlock the whale leaping for joy. It's by spending money. GG easy. Fearless Charger. Reach 580 progress on the champion. Okay, new achievement section. When you reach a certain number of those achievement points, you can get that. Cool. I didn't get the Zenith 2022 Egypt event series stuff. Okay, fine. Those were the new avatar frames. There are, of course, new city themes as well. I reviewed these, and I talked in my previous video about how funny it is that these two, like, look almost the same. Man, I don't know. This is for Ark of Osiris League, and it's not a good theme in my eyes. And then also, this theme is really just for training. And then the theme that everybody might be able to get in the upcoming holiday event series is also not an exciting theme, although those like blue spectral birds flying around are kind of cool. I mean, the theme looks fine, but nothing about this, not even the look, is like so good that it's like, I must get this theme. The last thing that you might be interested in seeing is the crystal technology changes. And good news, I'll be live streaming my restart account entering into KVK in about 8 hours from now. The stream will fire up, and 9 hours and 15 minutes is when we'll be entering into KVK, and I will be buying all the pop-up bundles and Crystal Quest and the Crystal Supply as a jump start to my technology. So I'll showcase all of that this evening, but if you want to see when I translated all the crystal technology when we found it in other languages from official Rise of Kingdoms sources, the card will appear just over here in a minute, and then right over here if you want more information about iconic crystals.